Okay, welcome back to my channel. If you stay with us, the following video is of my electrical installation. It was done about 6 months ago now, and what I've done is coupled together all the footage that I have to try and make a video that might be of interest. At the end of this video there is a brief section about all the different components we used on the installation. I will list in the description all those components and where we purchased them from. So please bear with it. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video, and maybe make some comments. Thank you very much. I've created this little panel to hold the buzz bars for the LEDs and the USBs, which is going to accommodate that lot. It's also going to hide it. I've got a second half to this panel which is going to go on that side, and that will hold the fuse box. So I will let you see what happens. Slow progress, but getting there. So this one is for the LED lights. This one is the common, or the ground as we know it. And this is for the USB ports. This is not live at the moment. Just a little update. So I completed this side. I've made a joining trim here, and now I've got a second panel. This panel's going to hold the fuse box, and then hopefully we're going to put the Victron panel here for the battery control. It's looking good so far. It's possible I may remake this panel out of some thicker marine pie, but so at the moment this is just the dummy. Because as you can see, I made a little mistake there. I cut a hole I didn't need. So let's see how we get on. So this is the switch panel I am going to use. After lots of deliberation and loads of research, I decided I did not want to spend 300 quid on an aux beam system. So I've gone for this one. It's a 12 gang, very similar to the aux beam, except for it doesn't have Bluetooth, but I'm not too bothered about that. So let's get on and install it. So in the box we have the switch panel, quite basic. Some power cables with a fuse, with the switch panel, with the cable. Not sure what this one's for. I'm sure we'll work that out as we go. And they provide you with a screwdriver. It's quite handy, isn't it? And a little bag of brackets and screws. Alright, let's get on with this. So the first job is to work out the location of this. So it looks like that switch on the side, it says battery and ACC, so I'm presuming that's auxiliary of some sort. Right, I presume it screws top and bottom there. Now I've got to take this panel back out That's going to go on there like that somehow, and then I am going to slot here and here to enable me to route the cables from behind this panel. So let's just some markers for that. Nearly dropped that then. Right, let's get this little bugger out. I'll pause you for a minute. So now you have to push it right back to get it out. There you go. I need a slot down each side of this for the cables to come up. We've got plus and minus. So we only need it wide enough for a single cable. And then got plus and minus there, so we've got two holes there. Now we're going to drill and cut these two slots. We're going to I don't know if these are in the right position, you know. Oh yeah, they would come up. As long as they come up and there's room for them to bend. That's these cables. Not them ones, them ones. They'll bend. Perfect. So, panel is now cut, prepped. So now this fits on here like so. There is a bracket to mount this, but I prefer to mount it directly to this board. I think the bracket will take up way too much space in the cupboard. That is a nice fix. Now this I'm having problems with because it comes with a bracket like so, and it has this half to the bracket as well, but look how far it sticks out. Just not going to work for me, so I need to modify this. I'm trying to think, I might just do it so the bracket goes through like so. That screws on the back of that like that. I'm thinking cut 2 slots in there. Maybe should have done this first. I could relocate this, and there's a good possibility I will, to a different part of the van. Just not sure where we want it now, and I don't want to go drilling holes in cabinets until I'm sure where I want it. It might just spend the rest of its life in this cupboard. Right, let's do a test fit. This is going to be driving me nuts. I might actually take that off while I do this. So ironically, that cable is going to come back through. It's going to come back through and plug in there. That's really annoying, isn't it? There you go. Oh, I put a hole there for it, didn't I? Right, let's take this off a minute. Now we've got to join up all the wires. Progress so far. So I've jerry-rigged power into this from the vehicle power just to temporarily test everything, and also so I've got lights in the van. So now if we switch this one off, well, there's the lights. This one is the bathroom light, and this one is the max air fan. I'll have to test that max air fan, make sure it's working with the remote now. So we're starting to get somewhere. Quite pleased so far. Everything that I've done still works. Brilliant news. So, making some progress with the battery box is now built. Got to attach this to this, and then assemble it all. But we're getting there. The battery's fit, so that's good news. Just need to test fit this shelf now. I need to cut one more of these access panels out of there and then tidy all this up. Okay, so that is mocked up. So batteries are under there. This is an access hatch. I'll have to drill a hole in that so I can get my finger in it, and the same with that one. This will be a door And obviously the bed goes down on top of here. Inverter's going on there, and then all the cables will run in the back of there. We'll have the links on this wall, the Servo GX and the B2B charger. And then we'll have 2 consumer units here rather than that one. There you go. Progress is being made. Deadline is looming. So that is that part of the project done. Now we got to start hanging the components. At the moment I've got this so it hinges out. So the wires will go behind there and then drop down to the battery box and into the back of the inverter, which will be hanging over there. So that's the inverter test fitted for location. Looks pretty good to me, that. I'm happy with that. So now I've just got to locate the other components. I need to check and see how long the cable is for the screen. So that's my next job. So here I have the first consumer unit. It has a supply feed going to the inverter there. The supply feed for the immersion heater, and then the supply feed for shore power, which will feed the inverter and the immersion heater. Over here you can see I've located my blue components, the Orion XS, Servo GX, links distributor, the power switch and the shunt. And obviously over there is the inverter. Underneath this box here we have, oh, helps if I don't push that like that, 2 batteries down there which I need to take out and put in a strap for. I'm going to do that tomorrow probably. Need to strap them into the frame of the car so bolts will go through the floor there. Time to move on. Speak to you soon. Battery straps in place. Just got to put the batteries back, put the straps on, another job done. Right, let's get them batteries back in there now. Batteries safely strapped down, everything's back in place. Now just to wire it up. There you go. So this is my battery setup. 2 batteries there, the 280 amps each. I have a links distributor, an Orion XS and a Servo GX, and we have a MultiPlus 3000 amp 12 volt. That's a MultiPlus 2. That noise is the inverter working, charging up the batteries. And hey presto, we have electricity in the van. Oh, and we have it in this corner. Now let's try this one. And that works too. Yabba dabba do. So this thing now says float on there, which means it's charging. So we go back to pages, there you go. Battery's 90%, 4 watts input. DC system's using 30 watts. There you go. How clever is that? So today I'm going to do a roundup video of my electrical installation. Just show everyone what components I installed and how they're working. So as you can see on the outside here, I have my electrical hookup, or known as shore power in the States. That goes through to the consumer unit on the inside. So let's swap you around and show you the installation. So in the back here we have the first consumer unit. Shore power comes through, supplies this, and then this supplies our inverter, which is there. That's a MultiPlus 2, 12 volt, 3000 amp. And then the second circuit on here supplies our immersion heater, which we only use when we're on a site on hookup. The second consumer unit is down here in there, as you can see, and that takes the power from the inverter to the plug sockets. So inside the van we have 240 plug socket here, we have another one here. These also have USB connectors in them, as you can see there. We then have over in that corner there a 240 plug socket, a 240 plug socket there. They're singles. And then we have this. We have a plug socket here and a light switch here, which really I should turn the lights on, shouldn't I? So you can see what I'm doing. Okay, this is the switch panel for all our 12 volt system. So this does the interior lights, the USB outlets, the fridge, the hot water for the shower, the bathroom lights, the water pump, the heater system, and the max air fan. Then over here we have the buzz bars for the LCD lights and for the USBs, and that is the main earth. Here we have the screen for the CERBO GX, which gives us all our power, water levels. We've got a sensor in the water tank, a sensor in the waste tank. We have alternator charging, which obviously comes in on here, and then also the shore power. Now the one thing that we don't have yet is solar. We haven't installed it yet. We aim to do that by next summer, and I will cover that in a separate video if I can. Over here we have our main fuse box for the 12 volt system. So as you can see, the lights are telling me which circuits are on. This was a really good price off of eBay, £80, and it's again worked flawless. Since installation I've had no problems. I installed this small temperature gauge just to tell me what the temperature of the water is in the water tank, the hot water tank. Because I tried a couple of Victron sensors, but didn't seem to be able to get it to work where it would tell me what the temperature of the water is. We have a Calorifier hot water system. Right, so now I'm going to include in part of this video the water system, because obviously it does have electric as well as a diesel heater, and it also heats up off the engine when you're driving. So let's get into this and I'll show you. So in here we have our Calorifier. It's this unit here, and basically what that is, that's a hot water tank with two separate copper coils running through it. One takes the heat from the engine, which heats up the water when you're driving. The other one uses the diesel heater, and the second circuit then heats up the water when you're running the diesel heater. We also have on this system an immersion heater. It's a 240 immersion heater. I know that you can get 12 volt ones, but I didn't think it was necessary. And we have a master switch here to turn that on and off. As I said previously, we only ever use that when we're on a site, and as of yet we've not had to use it. Over here is our fan heater system. It's 12 volt and it runs off the Calorifier and the diesel heater, and so basically it takes hot water from the diesel heater through a small radiator, which then blows hot air into the van, and at the same time the residual energy is stored in the Calorifier for hot water. That's basically it. This thing works really, really well. I was surprised. I thought it might be too small, but we went to Scotland in April in this van and it worked flawlessly. So I'm very happy with that system as well. And that is all 12 volt. That whole hot water system is controlled by this unit here. It's really clever and works really well. We've had no problems with that at all. That's the heating system. Making slow progress. So this is the location for the water pump. I'm going to drill some access holes in here so I can use that as a storage area, and the same up here. This is where the water pipes come from the bathroom. There you go. Get in there. Okay, this is our induction hob. It's a 2-ring, 240 volt, and we find this is perfect for us for cooking on. We don't seem to have any power issues with it either. We could have it fitted into the countertop here, but we find it works just fine as it is, and when we're not using it we have more counter space, which works really well. And down here we store our air fryer. Morphy Richards, works absolutely perfect. Really good air fryer for the van. Not sure what spec it is, but I'll leave the details in the description. Which is a Thetford 90 litre. I like this because the door opens so that you can get into it from outside. Perfect size for us. 12 volt, works absolutely perfectly. Shower fan is a Max Air dome fan. Works really well. It's got a little button there to push it open and a switch there, and obviously a light. Perfect fan for the bathroom. Works really well. In this area behind the curtain here, it's a bit difficult to show you that really. We have a light switch and a USB connector in there. Eventually these seats will swivel, that's why they're there. There's also another one in that corner. It's a little bit inaccessible at the moment. Lighting. LEDs. They came with the cabinets. They were an optional extra, which we added. That skylight surround has lights. Cabinet under there has a light. We have a light along there. We have another one along there. And we have one under this cabinet here. And the Max Air fan has lights as well. We have found that the lighting in this fan is more than adequate. Originally we were going to put in some additional ceiling lights, but didn't find it necessary in the end. So we just went for the cabinet lights that are already installed. Nice and easy installation. That's basically it. So I hope you enjoyed my electrical installation. I'd like to say a big thank you to Greg Virgo for his videos. They are such a fantastic help, and throughout my whole van build I kept referring back to his videos. They were so much help. So if anyone else is thinking of doing a van build, go and look at his channel. He has just covered everything you can think of. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed my electrical installation. That is our electrical system in total. Hope you enjoyed the video. Please like and subscribe.